Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting Radio, EB Radio. EB Radio. Your station for empowerment presents Mom Boss Talk Radio, a show that brings real life, real moms, and real experiences to empower mom bosses everywhere to be ambitious, highly driven, fierce, fabulous, and fearless. Mom Boss Talk Radio begins now.
Welcome, Mom Bosses. Welcome back to another episode of Mom Boss Talk Radio. Listen, my name is Jaresha Moore-Smith. I am one of your hosts, and let me just tell you guys, we appreciate your support. We appreciate you showing up in the community. We appreciate you listening and tuning in each and every week, because this show is all about empowering moms all over the world. We know that you are ambitious, you're fearless, you're fabulous, right? And fierce. And so we just try to bring topics and discussion that's really going to empower you each and every week. And so this week, we are actually talking about changing. And I feel like this topic is so fitting. It's so fitting because, to be completely transparent and honest with everyone out there, all of our supporters, there is a lot of changes that is happening within the Mom Boss Talk Radio show. Now, if you have been a supporter from day one, again, we appreciate you. We high five you because, as you know, this journey is really quite an interesting journey for us all, especially when we have to balance so much in our lives. And to be completely honest, it's hard, right? It is a challenge to balance so much. And so that's why I'm so excited that I'm going to be, jumping into this topic today, because there are some changes that, that's happening with the Mom Boss Talk Radio show. So there are some changes that's happening with the Mom Boss Talk Radio show. And so the host, one of my amazing hosts, I should say, co-host, Monyetta Hamilton, she's actually going to take some time away because of the fact that y'all know how it is. We have to work on so much. We have to balance life, work, and everything else. So she's stepping away for a while, but she will be back. So you will have your girl. You'll have your girl. Each and every week, also we'll be bringing some guest hosts to come in to share their stories and really just to empower you all. So if you're listening and maybe you're thinking, what, I would love to be on the Mom Boss Talk Radio show, please send us a message. Find us on Facebook. You can actually email us as well. The details is in the show notes of the episode today. So make sure you get in touch with us, because we would love for you to come on and share your story, be a guest host, and, really empower the world like we're doing, like we love doing, right? So as we're talking about change and really how we embrace change, I really feel like we have to navigate the journey, especially if, you're a mom boss and you're an entrepreneur mom, you're a 9-to-5 mom. We have to navigate this journey because we're no strangers to the constant evolution that comes with just running a business, working a 9-to-5 job, balancing family life. And so I really feel like this is a topic that we really need to, dive in and discuss, because when the challenges that come from those unexpected changes and there's just so many challenges that we deal with as moms. So many challenges, whether it's the shifting market demands, personal life adjustments. There are so many challenges that we deal with. And I love being able to have this space and have a space where, we can share tips, insights, and really help each other on navigating through these transitions, because we really want to transform them into opportunities for growth and success. And so whether you're a mom boss just starting out or you've been in the game for years, this conversation is going to empower you to embrace change and really thrive on your journey, because that's what it's all about. We want to be able to thrive on this journey called life as a mom, as we all have our capes just waving in the wind as we do, and we just want to be able to thrive. And I believe that in order for us to thrive, we really have to be willing to embrace changes that happen in our life. Because let's be completely clear. Let's be 100. We all have changes happening every single day. If you are where I'm at in the season, where I'm at in my life, where I'm in my 40s, I have changes happening with my body. I have changes happening with my personal life. I have changes happening with my business, with the podcast shows, changes happening with kids, and there's so many changes that is happening. And so sometimes it's hard for us to really embrace those changes. And so I really feel like, and I'm going to tell you that I like to give points. So I'm going to give you some points today that you can, really listen to and think about, and then maybe even take some notes. But I'm all about at least giving you some points to think about. So point number one, that I really feel like how we embrace change is we have to shift our mindset. We have to shift our mindset because here's the thing, okay? So it is so important for us to shift our mindset when we embrace changes and really embracing the power of adaptability. Because as a mom boss, we know there are constant changes. I just share some of the changes that I'm going through in my own life. But let me break it down a little bit deeper. So I mentioned the changes with your body when you're in your 40s. Know that it happens whether you want it to or not, but there's changes coming. So the changes as women that we go through every single day, every single month, the changes as moms with our children, depending on what stage they are in. So let me just give you an example. I have a college student who is, nearing the end of, college and graduating. I have one that is going into college. I have one that'll be finishing high school. And then I have one that is in the going into the 5th grade. And so while we're embracing our own changes, we have to help them embrace their changes and understanding the changes and adapt to it. And you know that they're watching. They're watching you to see how you deal with change, to see if you're embracing change, to see how you're handling change. And so you become the role model for them. But going back to, the constant changes and the challenges that we deal with, it is so very important for us to develop a mindset that embraces and thrives in our spaces, in our environment. So when you think about that, how are you shifting your mindset? Because I know if you're anything like most of us, okay, when it comes down to any kind of change, any kind of change, we do not necessarily just embrace it right off. Like, I think sometimes it takes whatever that change is, like it takes some time for us to really adapt to it. It takes some time for us to embrace it and understand it and really marinate on what that means for your life and how you're going to navigate through the change and what that really means for your life now and maybe in the long run. But I think it's important for us to really look at our mindset and establish something within our life, because changes are inevitable. They're going to keep happening, they're going to keep happening, and they're going to keep happening. And how we view the change, whether we choose to embrace it or we choose to, feel some kind of way about it, it's happening, right? It's happening. It's going to happen regardless of however you respond to it. Some changes are just inevitable. They're going to happen. But if we embrace it with a different attitude, if we embrace it where we're positive about it, where we're looking at that change and saying, how can I embrace this? How can I adapt? How can I pivot in my life so that I can begin to balance? So I feel like as moms, we do that. And let me give you a prime example. So when you have children and your children are in school during the summertime, when they're not in school, we have to adapt. There's schedule changes. There's so many different things that happens that we have to adapt, and we have to shift our mindset to prepare, to plan. And so I really feel like there's so many things that I can go into as far as shifting our mindset. But I feel like you get the point. You get what I'm saying, that in order for us to navigate this journey, your mindset plays a part in that. Your mindset plays a part in that. So that was the point number one. Point two was balancing the roles, because listen, as an entrepreneur mom, it's all about juggling. We are constantly juggling, okay? We are juggling everything, the multiple roles and responsibilities. So how do you, or I shouldn't say how do you, have you really found a delicate balance between being a mom, being a business owner, and then you just being you? How do you balance all of that? And I can't go without saying that we really have to make sure that we're prioritizing self-care. Self-care is so very important, but also utilizing our resources. Now, we've talked about on this show before how it's so important to utilize our resources, our tools, our techniques to maximize efficiency and prioritize tasks and manage our time effectively. There's no excuse for not being able to manage and really, I say it lightly, balance our lives, because it's hard to really balance. Is there a such thing as balance? Like, do you believe there is a such thing as balance? Like, we can manage things, but is it really balanced? Because I really feel like if you think about, how you balance something and you have equal, parts on both sides, that's not how our life is ever going to be. So you are going to have times where you have to give more towards certain things in your life than other things in your life. You have to give more time, more energy towards building and launching your business at times, until you can reach that point where you can kind of, you can kind of, I was going to say relax a little bit, but I don't feel like you ever relax in your business. I feel like you reach a point where you can start outsourcing and hiring people to take care of some of the hats that you've been wearing. But so there's not really a leveling, there's not really a balancing, act when it comes down to, just being a mom boss. It's really not. It's not. You're going to have to give more time, more energy towards something. So something is going to always, and I hate to say suffer, but because I don't really look at it like that, but you're going to have to sacrifice. So you're always going to have to give more in one area than another. It's never, I'm going to give, 50% here, 50% there. It just, now, maybe you have different thoughts on that. I would love to hear your thoughts on it if you do. But personally, I can tell you that it's a give and take. It's a trade-off. So there's always going to be some kind of trade-off in your life. Meaning, if you're working on building your business, then guess what? You're going to have to put 120% in to building your business, to growing your business, which means something else is going to, it's a trade-off. You're going to put more, and then you're going to have to give less in that area. And that's just what it is. Meaning maybe it's less time, less energy, but that is just what happens. And that's how we have to be willing to really embrace these changes and make sure we're prioritizing ourselves in this. Because I know how it is. When you are working 50 million hours and trying to get stuff done, and you're trying to do it. And let me just speak for a moment to the single moms out here, because I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. So when you are a single mom and you have, You don't have a husband, you don't have a spouse, a mate, someone that's a boyfriend, somebody, a fiance that's gonna help you on this journey with navigating. It is a challenge. It is even more of a challenge for single moms. And so kudos to the single moms out there that's doing it, that has, built your business, that's building your business, and you're doing it all while, working your 9 to 5 and taking care of your kids, going to school. Kudos, because that was my life at one point. And I know how it feels, how it is. When we talk about change, it's like sometimes you just cringe because it's always something. It's always something. But you have to learn how to embrace those changes. So when we talked about shifting your mindset, we talked about the balancing act, right? And, managing the multiple roles and responsibilities and making sure you're going to prioritize self-care. And then the third and final point that I want to make today is that we have to embrace those challenges, and we have to navigate those obstacles with confidence. Come on, confidence. Can we say confidence? Confidence. Because this journey is full of ups and downs. So because we know that, it is so very important to approach those setbacks as opportunities for growth. Are you approaching your setbacks as obstacles? As opportunities for growth. How do you handle and how do you overcome challenges? How have you built resilience to develop a positive mindset that's going to allow you to embrace the change and come out stronger on the other side? So we have to be willing to, have the confidence to keep it moving, keep it pushing, because ultimately the change is going to happen in our lives. And to be completely honest, if we can look at the 5 areas of our lives, which you have your relationships, and you can't tell me that you're not experiencing changes in your relationships. There's always some kind of change. And I'm not just talking about like a husband and a wife relationship or a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. I'm talking about all relationships. So the relationships with your children. I can tell you that I had to really embrace the change and adapt and, really shift my mindset, because when you have children that go from, babies, toddlers, young children to teenagers. Can we talk about teenagers for a second? When you have teenagers and the attitudes and their life is changing. So as their body changes, as they change, you as a parent, as a mom, have to be willing to embrace the change and really help them navigate through it. And while you're helping them navigate through it, not really want to absolutely go off on them. And those that have teenagers know what I mean. You know what I mean, okay? So you have to help them navigate through that. And so there's changes within our relationships that happen. So as they get older, your relationships are going to constantly be changing. And so not just relationships, but there's changes with your finances. If you're growing a business, you know that there are sacrifices that you have to make. If you're working a 9 to 5 and building a business, a lot of us are using our 9 to 5 to fund and grow our businesses, our side businesses, so that we can walk into them for, full time. And so there's changes within our finances. There's changes within our health and wellness. And so we have to be willing to navigate those changes and do it with confidence, because there's obstacles. So there's setbacks that happen with our health and wellness. Maybe you experience, recently some kind of, depression or anxiety, or you've picked up weight or lost weight. There are constant changes that are happening within our lives, and we have to be willing to embrace those changes, navigate through those changes, and keep it pushing, keep it moving forward. So there's always going to be changes. There's changes that's happening within our personal, professional lives. Again, I mentioned maybe you're working a 9 to 5. Maybe you just recently stepped away from 9 to 5 to walk into your business full time. That is a change that you have to navigate through. And if your mindset if you have not shifted your mindset, if you have not really looked at how can you begin to, maintain and maintain the role and responsibilities that come along with that, and how you embrace those challenges and navigate the obstacles with confidence, then what are we doing? What are we doing as mom bosses? So we have to really be on this journey, and we have to really figure out how we're going to embrace changes, period. We have some that it's like, oh, I hate change. I hate change. Well, first and foremost, stop saying you hate change, because guess what? It's going to happen. And that's where we have to not only shift our mindset, but we have to shift the narrative too that we're telling ourselves about the change. We have to shift the narrative. What are you telling yourself about the changes in your life? Now, listen, I mentioned at the very beginning and throughout this show that I am going through some changes. And when you step into your 40s and you've been in your 40s, then guess what? Your body is going through all kinds of changes. But let me tell you, when I tell you I'm embracing those changes, I am embracing the changes that is happening right now within my body. I have to embrace the changes. I'm trying to understand those changes as well. And I have a positive mindset around those changes, around the changes that's happening with business, with personal life, because they're going to happen. How are you going to navigate your own journey? How are you going to navigate your own journey? That's a question I want you to ask yourself. So the changes that's happening in your life right now, how have you, what does your mindset look like? Let's start there. What does your mindset look like regarding those changes? Are you embracing them? Are you, do you have the narrative like, oh, I hate change. I don't know how I'm going to be able to, really adapt to this. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get through this. Well, I know and believe that you can definitely get through it. You can get through it. You can get through whatever that change is. So just to kind of close out on today's episode, I'm super excited for this journey. We have to be willing to embrace every change that life is going to throw at us. Period. I mean, that's all and that's it. How are you going to embrace it? How are you going to embrace it? And some of us need to look at the changes in our lives, how we've handled them, and then how we need to make some changes on how we handle the change. That's what we need to do. So I really hope that you have found the 3 points that I shared today insightful. I hope that it's helpful in your own journey as a mom boss. Stay tuned for future episodes where we're going to continue to explore so many different topics just on this journey, because we're on this journey together. We are on this journey together. And if you have something that you want to hear about, send me a message. You can find me. My name is Jaresha again on all of the social media platforms. Reach out to me. I would love to hear from you as well. And I just want you to remember that as you're on this journey, know that change is the only constant, and so we have to embrace it. And by embracing it, I should say, you can create a fulfilling and successful life as a mom boss. And I believe that's truly what it's all about. So I hope that you all enjoyed today's episode. Again, I thank you so much for your support in the journey ahead. Know that Manietta will be back later in future episodes. Some few months from now. So where you'll have both of us on the show. But until then, you got your girl, which I'm really excited for this journey. I'm really, really excited because we're going to bring some guest hosts, some guest co-hosts on here that, can share their stories and really empower you all just through this journey. Because like I said, this is a journey that we're all on, and we need to have that community. We need to be able to, connect with each other and support each other, empower each other, lift each other up, And so I'm excited for the journey. I truly hope that, you just keep being fearless, keep being fabulous, because you are. Know that. If no one told you today that you're fierce, fabulous, listen, let me be the first to tell you, you are fierce. You are fabulous. Okay? You are fearless. And you got this. You just got to keep moving, okay? Keep moving. So until next time, keep making moves, because you know you got this.
Thank you for joining us on Mom Boss Talk Radio. Follow each of the Mom Bosses on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you love Mom Boss Radio, visit the website at www.envisionedbroadcasting.com. We'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time.